Welcome to Executive Protection Insights. I'm Liam. I still have one advanced package that I'm almost embarrassed to show people. It's sitting in a storage box in my garage. Every time I come across it while looking for something else, I pull it out, flip through a few pages, shake my head and smile. At the time, I thought it was the best piece of work I'd ever produced. It was almost 3 inches thick, hundreds of pages, maps, country reports, weather forecasts, hotel brochures, floor plans, embassy information, copies of passports, restaurant menus, tourist information, phone directories, newspaper articles, even printed satellite imagery. I thought I was prepared for everything. Looking back now, I wasn't prepared for anything because I had confused information with preparation. Those two things aren't the same. The operation itself went well. The principal never knew how many hours had gone into building that binder, and that's exactly how executive protection should work. If the client notices how much work you've done before the trip even starts, you've probably involved them too much. But something happened halfway through that operation that completely changed the way I build advanced packages today. I had to leave. Family emergency, nothing dramatic, but another team leader had to fly in and take over the operation with almost no notice. I remember meeting him in the hotel lobby. He just landed after an overnight flight, still carrying his luggage. We shook hands, grabbed a coffee, and I put that massive binder on the table between us. I remember feeling proud. I'd spent weeks building it. He looked at it, then looked at me, then back at the binder. He opened it, started turning pages. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe 15. Then he stopped. He looked at me and smiled. Liam, I said, yeah? He tapped the binder. Where's the stuff I actually need? I laughed, at first. Then I realized he wasn't joking. He wasn't criticizing the quality of the information. He was criticizing the way I'd organized it. Or maybe the better way to say it is, the lack of organization. Everything was there. Absolutely everything. The problem was finding it. If he needed the local police liaison at 2 o'clock in the morning, could he find that number in under 10 seconds? Probably not. If the principal suddenly changed hotels, could he immediately find the alternate route package? Maybe. If the aircraft diverted to another airport because of weather, could he quickly identify the nearest trauma center and the local transportation provider? Eventually. But eventually isn't good enough in executive protection. That's the day I stopped building impressive advanced packages and started building useful ones. Those are two completely different things, and I think one of the biggest mistakes young advanced agents make is believing the goal is to collect information. It isn't. Google can collect information. Artificial intelligence can collect information. Your client can collect information. That's not where your value comes from. Your value comes from organizing information so another professional can make good decisions under pressure. I always ask myself the same question before I close an advanced package. Imagine I disappear tomorrow morning. Could another team leader land in country, pick up this package, and successfully run the operation without calling me? If the answer is no, I'm not finished. That question has changed the way I prepare every mission. And I learned another lesson years later during an operation in Singapore. We'd spent several days conducting advances, hotels, meeting locations, airport surveys, medical facilities. Everything had gone exactly according to plan. The principal checked into the hotel just before dinner. Everyone relaxed a little. The advance was complete. The difficult work was behind us, or so we thought. Around midnight, my phone rang. It was the executive assistant. The principal couldn't sleep. He wanted to leave for the airport immediately instead of the planned departure at 4:30 in the morning. 3 hours early, no problem. At least that's what I said. Inside my head, I was already rebuilding tomorrow. I opened my advance package, not because I needed information, because I needed confirmation, driver, available, vehicle, already fueled. Airport operations, confirmed. Airline contact, verified. Alternate airport route, already printed. Local operations manager, 1 page away. Within 5 minutes, everyone had been notified. The driver was moving. The airport had been advised. The airline knew we were arriving early. The principal never realized he'd just changed 6 hours of planning with one decision. He simply walked downstairs 45 minutes later. The vehicle was waiting. The luggage was loaded. The route had been confirmed. We arrived at the airport ahead of schedule. He thanked everyone for being flexible. then boarded the aircraft. To him, it had been effortless. To us, it only looked effortless because the advanced package had been built for reality. That's when I realized something. An advanced package isn't built for the operation you planned. It's built for the operation you didn't plan. Because principals change their minds. Flights get delayed. Weather changes. Governments announce demonstrations. Factories decide to move meetings. Airports close terminals. Hotels lose reservations. Drivers get sick. If your advanced package only works when everything goes according to plan, it isn't finished. One of my favorite moments during every advance actually happens before the principal even arrives. I sit alone somewhere, usually in a hotel room, sometimes in the airport lounge, occasionally in the back seat of the vehicle after the final route reconnaissance. I open the package one last time, not to read it, to challenge it. I pretend I'm seeing it for the first time. Then I ask myself questions. What if the principal lands 2 hours late? What if he wants to skip the hotel? What if tomorrow's meeting runs long? What if he accepts an invitation to dinner? What if we lose cellular coverage? What if the opening vehicle breaks down? I don't ask those questions because I'm pessimistic. I ask them because operations have taught me something over the years. Plans don't fail because they're bad. Plans fail because reality refuses to cooperate. The better your advanced package is, the faster reality becomes manageable. I've also learned not to build advanced packages for myself. That's a mistake. I know what I mean when I write a note. Nobody else does. And if I write use south entrance, I know exactly which entrance I'm talking about. Will another team leader? Probably not. So today I write everything assuming someone I've never met may have to run the operation tomorrow morning. Clear language, simple maps, direct instructions, no guessing, no assumptions. Because assumptions don't belong in executive protection. Confirmation does. A few years ago, another advance agent called me after taking over one of my operations. I hadn't heard from him during the entire week. Not once. When the mission finished, he handed my binder back. He smiled. You know what the best part was? I said, what? I never had to call you. I'll be honest. That meant more to me than compliments from any client. Because another professional had trusted my work enough to protect someone else's life without needing me. That's the standard I try to reach every time I build an advanced package. Not perfection, usability, because one day someone else may have to open your binder in the middle of the night, under pressure, with a principal waiting downstairs. That's not the moment to impress them with how much information you've collected. That's the moment to make their job easier. So the next time you finish an advanced package, don't ask yourself whether it's complete. Ask yourself something much more important. If another protection professional picked this up tomorrow morning, would they thank me? Or would they call me? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know. Until next time, stay sharp, stay prepared, and stay operational.